Honestly, this might be one of the best $10 I ever spent. I spent $10 on something that was on sale. I don't know what. It was probably a super good deal. And meals are usually $10. And I feel happy after I ate it. But this is a good, lasting memory. This was before when the settlers and pilgrims came here, this area was free. But of course, sightseeing and recording videos was the least of their worries. They gotta eat. They gotta find a place to live. And at this point, I might be resigned to the fact that I will not see everything in Carmel by the Sea today. Honestly, I'm getting kind of hungry. But my mouth prevents me from eating too much as of the moment. And it's weird, my appetite has waned. I used to eat a lot. I used to just finish my plate, and other people would let me finish their food too, but that was pretty stupid and immature of me, and I don't do that anymore. Yeah, there's lots of things that I don't do now that I would have done or thought about doing 10 years ago. Like, I go to Fanime and watch Ruby, and I'm like, wow, I would have liked this so much 10 years ago, maybe 15, because back then I didn't know better. I said, I grew up deprived of childhood, but I did have a good childhood. I just wasn't as into pop culture. Not because I chose to, because I wasn't really allowed to. I wasn't allowed to. I remember my parents would block Pokemon on a TV, and my brother and I would find a way to unblock it and then change the settings back once they got home. I remember we had a Nintendo 64, and either we played it too much or we were grounded. So my parents hid it, but then we found where they hid it, and then we took it out, played it, and then we hit the garage door opening, and then we just put everything back once they came home. That's the thing about rules. I mean, they can be fair and reasonable, but too much of it, and people will find a way around it. I remember not being happy because, I didn't watch all these and that animes, or I wasn't able to play Maple Story, or I didn't play some Maple Story, or Ragnarok, or CS, or like the other Vid kids in my troop, or in Vid school, or whatever. But looking back, it's alright. You know, I still got to play some games, but those things I found on my own. Like, I downloaded Gunbound, I downloaded Maple Story. I played some game called Survival Project. And clothes, like, the thing is, growing up they were like, wear khakis, wear polos, comb your hair. And of course I went against it. I wore big tees, not really tall tees, and of course I sagged my pants. Well, whenever they weren't looking, when I came home I pulled them back up. But at school, they weren't super baggy or super noticeable, and I would wear clothes that were too big. I remember one time, I used to wear larges in middle school, or even part of high school too. And one time my dad, who's always obviously bigger than me, put on one of my shirts, and it fit him. And I was like, yeah, it's time to wear mediums. I remember I used to teach piano and earn a little money on the side, and I would use that to buy the clothes that I wasn't allowed to buy. I would go to the mall and buy my own Aeropostale shirt or Hollister shirt. I didn't buy from Abercrombie because I heard they were racist. I would buy my own Echo shirt. I even brought my friend's Echo shirt for I think Christmas or something. I brought my friend and my brother Zoo York hoodies. I used to wear a lot of hoodies too. Not anymore. Now, black jackets are the in thing now. Good thing is black's one of my favorite colors. Yeah. One thing Colin Cowherd, the sports podcaster, says, the thing I like about him is that he just doesn't only talk sports and isn't super objective. Like Coach Mike or Steve or something on YouTube. Like, this guy has to be at this area to do this play, blah, 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 but he didn't. I'm like, give the guy a break. He was in the moment of the game, you know? Well, Colin Cowherd, I don't think he's a coach. I don't know how much experience he has, but he teaches some life lessons. And one thing he said recently that I kind of relate with or agree with was that people who are hung up on the good old days, who are nostalgic and think about the past, it's because their present situation isn't so great. And maybe that kind of applied to me. Like, school was like stressing me out. My relationship was stressing me out. I mean, the relationship was good, but it wasn't perfect, and it fluctuated between like beneficial and detriment so much, you know? It was stressing me out. So I started going back to nostalgic stuff. I would like listen to old songs or watch old music videos and old shows or episodes of cartoons and sitcoms I grew up with as a kid. Oh, that's my keys. I remember rewatching a lot of Home Improvement and Everybody Loves Raymond, Recess, Hey Arnold, Smart Guy, even Yu-Gi-Oh! At some point, Pokemon, Digimon. And I rewatch a lot of Friends too. But I guess you gotta be into the present and have a bright future, or else you're gonna be stuck in the past.